Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/entitled people, where the people are so very entitled. If you enjoy, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Now without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Entitled kid sexually assaults my daughter. Finds out the hard way she's been taught to take care of herself. So this is my second story. Little background, I'm an Iraqi war vet, and I believe in teaching the women and girls in my life to defend themselves with impunity. So at the very young age of 4, I have been teaching my child to defend herself. Cast, me, who is the Terminator, P is the principal. Hello, Terminator, I need you to come pick up baby Terminator. Can I ask what this is about? Yes, your child has been in a fight and needs to leave the school perimeter. What do you mean she's been in a fight? What happened? I mean, she wouldn't just pick a fight. Well, from what we can tell, Entitled Kid was running up behind her and grabbing her butt. She apparently warned him to stop, and when he wouldn't, knocked him out cold. So, I'm confused. What is happening to the boy then? Well, your daughter seems to be the aggressor, and we need her to leave, and she is going to be suspended. Now, my child at the time lived with my ex-wife, and I heard from my ex that my kid was having an issue with this boy for a while now, and I knew my daughter had gone through many times telling on him to no resolve. I also know that he had been told many times by teachers to stop, and he hadn't. Wait, so nothing's gonna happen to the boy who's been sexually assaulting my daughter for however amount of time? Well, Mr. Terminator, she did strike him first once and knocked him out. She needs to learn violence is not the answer. She needed to bring it up to the attention of a teacher. Okay, so what I'm hearing is your school is basically saying it's okay to sexually assault a girl and that the girl in question needs to just be a victim of the assault over and over again or be punished. Is that about the gist of it? Now I hear silence, as the principal mulls over about what I just said. I can tell they're trying to justify this weak tea BS, and well, I compose myself. So, here's what's gonna happen next. You can either punish both or punish none of them, because I promise you the last thing you want is me and my dresses and TV reporters showing up and blasting your whole school over this. Now I can understand that punching the brat is unacceptable, but what I will not take, and neither will she, is him not being punished as well. Do I make myself clear? Also, why are you calling me and not her mother? Well, she told us to call you. You listen to me, and listen good. I swear to God, I will not put up with this. I demand a meeting with you, her teacher, and this boy's family. If I can't make it, my ex-wife will. If this isn't resolved to my liking, I will bring a holy hell upon this whole stick house you've built. Do you understand me? And the principal just responds with a weak little, "Yes, sir." Good. Call my ex and let her know the time and date. We will coordinate from there. I hang up and call my ex. She agrees with me and I go back to work. About a work week later, there's a meeting, but unfortunately I have work and my ex has to go in for me. From what I am told, this boy's family tries to play it off as boys will be boys and tries to get my daughter expelled. There are times when I remember why I married my ex, and this is one of them. She proceeds to tell them that the last thing any of them want is me to get more involved than I already have, and that if I have to, I will bring it all burning down. Every last brick. Outcome was both were suspended for 4 days and the boy moved to a different class, and I never got a call like that again. Moral of the story, my kid's a badass and got a cake for sticking up for herself, and a lot of love on both ends of me and my ex. Someone in the comments says, good on you both. I hate the boys will be boys phrase being used to justify terrible things. That's something you say when your son comes in covered in mud or holding a jar of worms. That's not something you say when he's been copping a feel on an unwilling girl. I'm gonna say the next title of the story in a Karen kind of voice, so you kind of get the vibe we're going here.
I don't care if you have cancer, my child deserves your seed.
Alright, let's get started. This encounter happened about 7 months ago. I don't want to insult your intelligence because you most likely already know what EM and me stand for, but I should say that EK in this story stands for Embarrassed Kid, and OG stands for Old Gentleman. This kid was very polite and sorry, so this story is not about him. Also, I'm translating this to English, so please bear with me. A little backstory. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer of the nasal cavity. Stage 2. The tumor was quite large, but thankfully benign. Edit. People have pointed out that I formulated this wrong. By benign, I wanted to shorten the fact that it did not spread to other tissue, thus it was still contained, which is what I thought the word meant. I apologize for my gaps in knowledge. To get it removed, I first had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy to make it smaller. Thanks to the chemo, I had severe alopecia, which made most of my hair and even my eyebrows and eyelashes fall out. At some point I had to go bald, but I wore a wig because I didn't want to look like a skinhead. I'm 6 foot 4 inches and pretty muscular, so I thought people would assume. So once, after a long chemo session in the hospital, I took the bus home. There's only one bus that goes from the hospital to where I live, so I took that one to see what it was absolutely packed. I felt like crud thanks to the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged dude to let me sit. He was very understanding and gave me his spot without complaining. If you're reading this, thanks bro. 2 stops later, enter Entitled Mother. A lovely whale with an
I demand a parley with the CEO
haircut and a 12-some-year-old kid. It took her roughly 5 seconds to see the bus was packed and start looking for a free seat, spot me and start marching, or in her case, trying to fit down the aisle between the seats while shoving others aside to me. When I saw her, I knew I was screwed. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is the conversation that followed.
Hey, could you let my kid sit down?
You mean me?
Who else?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way from the hospital and...
So are we.
This is nonsense, by the way. The stop was a few kilometers away from the hospital. My boy just broke his leg and we're
Coming straight from the ER.
Her kid was standing next to her without any support, clearly embarrassed. He's standing next to you completely fine.
Look here, boy.
I'm 20 years old, mind you.
My kid deserves to sit down.
Look, madam, I'm sorry, but I just got back from a chemo session in the hospital, and I need to sit down and rest. I then moved my wig a little bit to let her see my bald head. EM then straight up started yelling in my face.
Stop making excuses and get off the seat, you skinhead piece of crud.
At this point, I was baffled. I didn't know what to say. The kid was trying to make his mother stop and had the attention of the whole bus. She then grabbed me and tried to yank me from my seat. I held on tight and thankfully didn't fall off. Now enter Old Gentleman, my savior. Will you shut the fuck up, you dumb cow?
Who do you think you're talking
to? Old Gentleman said with an ice cold voice. Stop assaulting other passengers, or I will be forced to step in. Also, every dumb moron can see the dude has cancer.
No, he's just a bleeping skinhead.
He's got no eyebrows, you twat. It seems like that really offended Entitled Mother because she spun around on the spot and threw a Falcon punch in the Old Gentleman's face. I was shocked and in disbelief. The whole bus was flabbergasted, and the kid probably wished he'd never been born. Old Gentleman then said something unbelievable, and a golden, sweet, karmic moment followed. Okay, that does it. Harassing passengers on the bus, physical assault against the passenger, and now assaulting an officer. You're in deep trouble, lady. Old Gentleman then pulled out the badge and told her to stay where she was. Then he pulled out his phone, called someone, and told her she was being arrested. I could not believe it. Old Gentleman was a bloody cop. At this point, Entitled Mother was white as a wall. The bus had just come to a stop, so she decided she'd make a run for it, but other passengers blocked her way. She then also got charged with resisting arrest thanks to this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for the entitled mom and entitled kid. Entitled kid told me he was sorry for his mother's behavior, and I felt really sorry for this kid. He wasn't a bad kid, but his mother was a hellspawn. Old gentleman then talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I gladly said yes, took a statement, and thankfully was kind enough to let me solve everything on the phone, so I didn't have to come to the police station for questioning. In the end, the entitled mother got some jail time. I think it was a few months and some community service. I, in return, got a good story to tell and the sweet, sweet taste of instant karma. Right now, I'm riding the same bus home as I just got back home from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend who's sitting next to me told me I should post it here. He, as much as myself, also couldn't believe that such people existed, but it seems I proved it to him. I should also note that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November, and my hair is slowly returning. Also, I don't need to wear a wig anymore. Congratulations on becoming cancer-free. And yeah, you do have a wonderful story on your hands, OP. I'm glad you shared it with us. That's the end of today's video. If you all enjoyed, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all next time, alright? Bye-bye.